5 signs he's emotionally committed to you. In this video, you will discover what's the difference between a man who's truly interested in you and one who's actually not interested in you at all, but you giving him all the excuses. So let's go ahead and dive right in. And of course, if you're ready to finally know when he's deeply in love with you, by his responses, comment with "I'm ready now" below. I'm, of course, Antia, founder and creator of the Magnetize Your Man method. And look, this is the channel where we magnetize your man so that the man you want commits and desires and pursues you forever. Now, if you like anything about my background, my outfit, or the content of this video, please give it a thumbs up. And also don't forget to subscribe. Hit that bell below for more incredible free videos coming your way. And of course, sharing is caring. So don't forget to let your girlfriends know. And of course, lastly, watch this video all the way through because I have a surprising added bonus at the end that you will not want to miss. So let's go ahead and dive right into the 5 signs he is emotionally committed to you. Number 5, he supports you in your shadow. Okay, so this is actually a lot. Let's actually break this apart. So what we oftentimes believe is that the man is going to support us. He's going to stay when we're like in sort of our best, when we show our best side, right? When we show our light, when we show our positive aspects. However, a true sign of a man who's really truly emotionally committed to you on all levels is he also celebrates what I call the shadow. Now, the shadow is that part inside of yourself, or you could say traits or qualities inside of yourself that you judge, that you criticize, that you you just like, it makes you cringe when you think about it. So a couple examples here could be, you could be a rage monster, or a shadow could be arrogance, or a shadow could be selfishness, being inconsiderate, right? So anything that you would do anything for to not be called as, right? So you don't want to be called as rude. That's your shadow. And then what you do is you dance around it, right? You become a people pleaser. You become like over polite. You become over considerate because you don't want to come off as rude. And so he actually supports you in that. He supports you in expressing all of those parts inside of yourself because he loves who you are authentically, right? He loves who you are when you're completely transparent and show all the colors of the rainbow. Now, I'd love to hear from you. Which country or state are you watching from? So we know where are you, what's going on, and what is your experience there. Number 4, when he is emotionally committed to you, he makes changes. Now, what's really interesting about that is he makes changes without you even necessarily having to say something. He may know that you have a preference, but he's not going to be, you know what I mean? Like you're not going to have to rub it into his face the whole time because why? He wants to be a better man for you, right? He feels like, wow, I just encountered a queen. I better step into my king. Now, when I met my husband, Brody, I give you an example. So he was like wearing, some more bachelor-like clothing, I would say. We met in Hawaii, some shirts, some t-shirts, but nothing fashionable and nothing, that was really, truly, definitely not in his essence, right? It was just kind of like, laissez-faire. And, then here I come along, totally fashionable. Obviously, that's important to me to be actually dressed in alignment with who you are, right? That things are matching, things like that. So within us dating for like about 1.5 years or so, he started to completely make over his wardrobe. And now he's like, now I turned him into a monster, right? Because now he's going to be the one who says, well, I don't know if those earrings are in your palette. And I was like, oh no, so because he made the change, right? And like, ladies, like, be careful what you wish for. And then he's going to turn it around on you. So, but have fun. He makes the changes because he really wants to step into a better version of who he is. And we, of course, know this famous quote, when the man is getting married, right? What does he say at the altar? You make me a better man. Of course, you don't make him a better man, right? Because nobody can make you do or be anything. But the part inside of you that rises, it's like the queen, right? That's that honorable part, like speaks to his honorable part so strongly that it wants to rise as well. Now, number 3 is he fights for you. He doesn't just give up. He doesn't just walk out. And that is really important for you to grasp, because a lot of times when women come to me, they have the story that as soon as they express their needs, or they express that they don't agree with something, right? They don't agree how the conversation went down, or they don't agree how something got handled, that they rock the boat so much that he's no longer interested, right? But what I mean when he says he fights for you is like when there is a part inside of himself that wants to, let's say, separate, right? Or that wants to punish you because he wants to keep himself safe, or he wants to be resentful, he fights against that, right? Because his connection to you is much more important than him being right, or even him feeling safe, right? Like he actually fights for the harmony of the relationship. And he fights against his own inner urge, right? To just be kind of resentful and just be like, oh, forget about it, who cares anyways? He fights against closing his heart. This is really important because sometimes women come to me and they tell me how the man is like stonewalling and like walking out and all the things. I'm like, well, like when he's emotionally committed, he's not going to do that. He will reach back out. He'll be like, babe, believe in us, right? I'm just walking through something right now. He will continue to open up, like, yeah, emotionally, right? He's going to go against like his inner demons and monsters. Now, of course, if you're liking this content so far, again, please like it below this video, share it with a girlfriend, and don't forget to subscribe. Number 2, like one of the signs that he's emotionally committed to you is he is inquisitive. And this is really from the get-go. So when he goes on a date with you, he is asking you questions. He is interested in you. He is invested into you, right? He pays attention to you. He asks you how your day was. He asks you a follow-up question when you share an experience, maybe something from childhood or maybe your favorite trip. And it's like, and then what happened? Because he really wants to know what kind of woman is he dealing with, right? He's emotionally committed. So he wants to find out as much as possible so he can magnify his connection that he feels to you even more, right? So this is like really important. And what that also means is like you opening up to that inquisitiveness, right? That you actually don't have to ask that many questions to him all the time, and you don't have to make all the conversations all the time, but instead, like actually lean back and know the right man is going to be inquisitive. He is going to be inquisitive. Like he is wanting to know everything about your life, and for you to feel actually safe that he is inquisitive, right? Like he will want to know about your family. He will want to meet your family, right? Because that again expands his experience of the connection that you two have, because he really sees you in his future. Now, number 1, this is like also a really big one that a lot of women kind of oversee, is that he shares secrets that don't put him in a good light. So in the beginning, I was talking about that he really supports you in your shadow, in the parts inside of you, the traits, the qualities that you are actually judging inside of yourself. And so what actually happens is like he does the same almost like in reverse too, right? Like, so he wants to be transparent with you as well, right? So it's almost like if he just shares like, what his favorite, I don't know, football team is or things like that, he just reaches a certain level of intimacy and connection, but he wants to reach more. He wants to create more with you, right? He wants to feel like a deeper, heartfelt connection. And that makes him share like everything about himself authentically, even when it doesn't put him in a good light, even if it's like embarrassing or maybe even if it causes shame. But he wants to experience that intimacy with you, that emotional intimacy so like, I don't want to say desperately, right? But like so badly that he doesn't feel like like anything feels like a little bit like holding back. He feels this unbearable amount of like inauthenticity, right? That he just can't have because you guys have this beautiful thing together. So it's really awesome because that creates true vulnerability. And that, of course, creates true fertile ground for expansion and growth and transformation, right? So you really know, wow, like this is really, we're on the right track here. Now, before I share my final bonus secret, comment below which of the signs has a man shown you, right? So now it's time to reflect a little bit. When has that occurred to you? You may have already forgotten about it. Now, here is, of course, my bonus for those of you who stayed until the very end. He surprises himself. Now, this is one of my favorite stories when I was dating a guy who I know was emotionally committed to me. I just wasn't emotionally committed to him. We were just like not on the same page in terms of like life goals, lifestyles, things like that, right? But he was emotionally committed to me. And he lived in Germany, where I'm originally from. But he hated the US, right? So, but I mean, I moved to the US like almost 17 years ago, right? So I went to the US and he actually ended up booking a ticket to an event in Southern California so he can visit me, right? And so he was surprising himself because he would have never thought in a million years that he's gonna do that, that he's gonna book a ticket, that he finds himself on American ground, you know what I mean? But he did that anyways. So this is also like really important to know if you give men excuses, right? If you say like, well, I mean, but he also doesn't like this country, or he doesn't like to fly, or he doesn't like, that's why he's not doing that. And it's like, no, you know what? Like for every time when you give me an example or an excuse why a man can't do something or is not able to do something or whatever the case may be, I can give you a counter example where a man just like totally stepped out of his comfort zone, where it almost like scared him too. But his attraction to you and his commitment to you was so much stronger that he just did it. He just did it, and it didn't make any sense. And it put him in outside of his comfort zone, and he did it anyways. And you know what? I know what you're saying now. This is a hard pill to swallow, right? Because it's so much easier to just literally take the excuse and be like, well, like I get it, right? So it's a little hard pill to swallow. However, it's actually going to be really healing because it helps you to walk away from a man who is not really emotionally committed to you. Now, if you want to learn more about where are you actually on this journey, right? Like lots of, being considerate of the other person, not considerate of yourself. Are you focused on yourself or on the other person? Take my free Magnetize Your Man quiz, mymquiz.com. And the link is also in the description as well. And if you haven't done so already, watch next. When a man deeply loves you, he will start saying these 5 things. Ladies, it's been such a pleasure. I'll talk to you in the next video. Take care. Bye-bye.